This is David. It's the only thing vampire related that I have. I had a list of films I wanted to see at the cinemas, but that didn't work out because I don't get out much. So I had to wait for them to come onto streaming services and wait till I had the time and money to watch them. Or in this case, YouTube movies. Because today is the turn of Renfield.
I need to get out of a toxic relationship.
As soon as I saw the trailer, I was more than keen to see it. It looked suitably silly and serious enough to be fun. Plus it has Nicholas Hoult, who I think is a great actor and seems to have a niche for playing rather unusual characters. Also never seems to age, so probably very appropriate for a vampire movie. Plus, of course, Nick Cage, who is always wonderfully over the top and seems like the perfect comedy Dracula. Honestly, I would question the moral compass of anybody who doesn't love Nick Cage on some level. The trailer starts with our titular character Renfield attending a meeting for people in toxic relationships, where he is desperate to break free from his overbearing boss. But it turns out that his work life is a little bit more unconventional than most.
My boss? He's different.
From there, we learn that he works for Dracula himself, bringing him innocent victims to feast on in exchange for certain spooky powers. It looks like a horror superhero comedy thing, and it looks quite fun. And it did not disappoint. Visually stunning from opening sequence to end credits. Without spoilering too much, we start with a flashback montage with Holt and Cage mirroring Bela Lugosi's Dracula, and the scenes are on point. And if you're a lover of the old classic horrors, you might get a little bit of a kick out of this bit. Definitely put a big stupid smile on my face. We don't know how to smile. Action scenes are fun and creative and brilliantly choreographed and never fail to keep in mind the character of the person it's fighting. They're also very gory. But more than that, they're all done without nausea-inducing crazy shaky cam, proving that it can be done, it can still be exciting, and we can keep track of what's actually happening. Nicholas Hoult is fantastic as the wonderfully bumbling Hugh Grant-esque Englishman with the powers of Deadpool and the four-letter vocabulary of 4 weddings and a funeral. And Cage's performance is perfect. This is a role he was born to play. His overacting fits the character to a T. In fact, I would say it was a rather reserved performance and beautifully done. The special effects and makeup are stunning, whether it's the many faces of Dracula or the gruesome dismemberment of his victims. And for the majority of it, I would say it was practical effects, which I love. And it has an actual storyline, characters to love and root for, bad guys to love, hate. The through line of being in a toxic relationship is obviously played a bit for laughs, but it also rings true and is frighteningly real and taken seriously. If you've ever been in a manipulative relationship, friend, romantic, work, family, you'll recognise the things Dracula says to Renfield right away and understand why he remains stuck in this world for so long. In my opinion, it's played out well so that it doesn't make fun of such situations, but it isn't overdone to the point of saccharine pseudo-sentiment. It doesn't overwhelm the fun of the movie, but it's clearly there to see. I kind of want to talk more about it because I really enjoyed it, but I don't want to get into spoiler territory. But maybe I'll do a longer video about it. We'll see how inspired I get. Or how lazy. Now, I'm guilty of going into a movie without learning anything about it. I always go in blind. So when the credits came up and said screenplay by Robert Kirkman, I had a feeling of, yep, that feels right. I don't think I've ever not enjoyed something by Robert Kirkman so far. So long story short, I highly recommend this movie. Of course, that recommendation does come with a disclaimer that this movie is explosively gory. Hilariously gory in parts.
Yeah, what?
And very funny in other ways. Some subtly funny, some belly laughs. Mostly at the most ridiculous of things. Thoroughly enjoyed this one, going on my list of faves. So definitely go and see if you haven't already. Toodles!
Strange fish.
Hi, Leah.